Okay, so yesterday we learned what about functions?
Yesterday?
What did we, sorry, Tuesday. What did we learn about functions? We learned about domain and range, right?
Yeah.
What's domain?
The X.
The X's. What's the range?
Y.
The Y values. Good. That's what I wanted you to get out of that. Okay. So today we're going to determine whether a relation is a function, and we're going to find values that are a function. Cool. So I'm going to skip that. We're just going to talk about it. Okay. A function is a relation in which each element of the domain is paired with exactly one. Underline that. Exactly one. That's the main thing right here. So each element of the domain, each x, is paired with exactly one element of the range. Exactly one y. Okay, so here, each x has exactly one y. These are x's, these are our y's. Each x has exactly one y. Exactly one y. That's the main thing you look at these, okay? So this one is a function. We also need to talk about vertical line test. Okay, are we ready for it? If I draw a vertical line through a graph, everyone do that, anywhere on the graph. If I draw a vertical line on the graph, and now I move it this way, each x should only touch one y coordinate. There should be no touching of any sort, okay? So if that line moves left to right, is each x only touching one y? Yes. Okay, so this one is a function. So everyone just put yes. When you put yes, that means it is a function. Okay? So, main thing, each x has what?
One Y.
Exactly one y. Okay? It cannot have more than one. If it has more than one, it is not a function. So, here, determine whether the relation is a function and explain why. How do you know if it's a function? Each x only has one y. Is that true?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. And then each x only has one y. What if I did this? Beep. Why?
One has more than one.
Negative 2 has 2. Okay, so that breaks it. Okay, so if I had that on a graph, I'm going to rough sketch. If I had negative 2, negative 8 down here somewhere, 0, 0 here, and I had negative 2, 0 here. If I did the vertical line test, if I move that left to right, that x value touches more than one coordinate. Okay, so that's how the vertical line test works. Okay, so that one ain't wrong. So this one, yes. On this one, they did it a little differently, okay? So we have to look. Remember, domain is still our x's, and range is our y's. Okay, so let's look. Negative 7, negative 12. We're good? Negative 4, negative 9, 2, 3, 5, 0. Do any of our x's repeat in that domain column? No, so our answer is yes. Yes. Can y values repeat?
Yeah.
So let's say if I had 6, 3. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, they can have the same y coordinate. They just cannot be from the same x. Okay? So, is this a relation? Sorry, is this relation a function?
Yeah.
Why?
Because each x only has one numbers repeat.
None of the numbers repeat. Each x only has one y. So this is a yes. Is this relation a function? Talk about it with your elbow partner.
No.
All right, what'd you guys come up with? Why?
Because there's two.
What's the big no-no here? There's 2 of the same in the column x. Can't do that.
0.
Illegal. Breaks the function. Cannot have it. And if we did the vertical line test, at x equals 3, it would hit 2 and negative 1, so that would be a no. Okay? Now we are moving on to function values. Okay, do you guys have any questions over relations and functions? Over the yes and no, why it's a yes, why it's no?
No.
We're good? Okay, so now we're getting into function values. So it's going to give you a function like this, and then it's going to say find f of a number. In this case, it says f of 4. So we have f of x here. 4 is replaced by, or x is replaced by 4. So what do we need to do with that 4?
Substitute in.
Substitute, I like that word, substitute that in for the x, which is what they did here. And then they just solve by using what? Yes, order of operations, okay? So, since they did that one for you, keep. Okay, so this one says f of x equals 2x plus 5. We need to find f of 3. What do we do with that 3? Substitute it in for x. So we have 2 times, when it's right next to it, you need to multiply. Then we have plus 5. What's first? 2 times 3 is? Plus 5, 11. All right. Now it's going to throw in a word problem. Is this supposed to be squared?
Yeah.
16t squared. Okay, so it gives us this function again. It represents the height of a ball thrown from a cliff that is 180 feet above the ground. Okay, we want to find h of 2. So where do we plug in that 2? In for t, right? Because it's normally h of t. Now it says h of 2. So we substitute that 2 in for t. Okay, we got to be careful here. What do we need to do first? Exponent first, okay? Some people want to do 16 times 2 first. No, don't do that. Okay, so we have 180 minus 16. What's 2 squared? 4, and that's still multiplying. Okay, so now we have 180. What's 16 times 4? What is it? Is it 64? I think it is. 64. What's 180 minus 64? 116 feet. Bingo. Right. Any questions over substitution, finding function values? No?